you for joining me. So, now we can sit and we can breathe. Where do we go from here? Our next challenge is song. We spoke briefly about this a couple of videos back, and what the idea of song is manyfold. It is a concept of relaxation. It is a feeling of not holding up our tissues. It is also a form of attention, like standing at attention. We don't want our relaxation to make our body go brrr. We're not looking at that kind of relaxation. We're looking at the kind of relaxation where everything is upright, alert, in its place, but only using the most minimal amount of tension to get there. And the way we do that is by placing all of our joints in pretty much the middle of their range of motion. So, our hips are one that we are going to cheat a little bit on with this one because we are sitting in our chairs. Ideally, we would want our chairs to be up a little bit higher so we can get a bit more of a slope from our hip down to our knee, but it's not too much to worry about in this kind of a situation. The more important thing is that we are sitting on our sit bones, and those are going directly down into the chair. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to do our best to kind of relax the tissues in our legs, so we're not holding on to any tension we don't have to. And we can let our knees feel kind of loose. And our knees, their range of motion, we can pull them in, we can kick them straight out. So we're going to put them somewhere in between on that range of motion. Again, it'd be ideal if these were a little bit more of an oblique angle, but for our purposes here, this is going to work absolutely great. Our ankles, we can pull them up, we can push them down, so we're going to put them somewhere in between, nice and relaxed. And once again, like we mentioned earlier, our knees are always going to stay directly in line over that line in our feet, over our toes, the line separating the big foot from the other four, the big toe from the other four toes, sorry. Our knees are going to track directly over that line anytime we are moving our legs. Now our shoulders are very complicated joints. They do a lot of things. But to start with, we want to make sure our shoulders are relaxed and down. And these shoulders have to be directly over top of our hips. And we can check this by moving one shoulder forward, and we can feel how that changes how that sit bone in our hip feels. So if we're sitting directly on those sit bones on our hips, any movement we do to our shoulders is going to change that orientation of our hips and the sit bones. So our shoulders want to be sitting directly on top of those. Our sit bones are taking all of the weight of our shoulders. Then our shoulders can go back and they can track forward, back and forward. So we're going to put those right in between. And that should have the effect of having our humerus bone in our arm basically tracking straight down the side of our body. All right, so it's not rolled forward and it's not rolled back. That means our shoulder blades are going to be roughly in the center of their range of motion. Now for our arms, they can go up and they can go down, even a little bit back. So we're going to put them somewhere in between. That somewhere in between is going to be anywhere from about belly to high shoulder height. Okay? Anywhere in here is actually fine. There is a variation on this standing exercise that is going to have your hands higher or lower. Depends a lot on the school, depends on the teacher. More important is we want them to be the same height. So we don't want this. If one hand can go higher than the other one, then drop the higher hand to the same height as the lower one. We're only ever going to go as far as our range of motion allows on our weakest side. So if I lift them up, and my left arm wants to go higher, bring it back down to the height of the right. We're going to build up these chains together. Now, our arms can also rotate down, and they can rotate up by rotating our humerus inside of our shoulder. So again, put it somewhere in between. Our elbows, we don't want those to be up because that's going to increase tension that we don't want. We don't want them collapsed down, somewhere in between. Nice weight, feel them bounce. Wrists, open up, close down, somewhere in between. Fingers, splay up, close into fists, somewhere in between. Our fingers are actually going to be mostly straight, somewhat curved along the radius of our arms. And what this is going to look like is like we're holding a ball or hugging a tree. And we need to get real comfortable with this particular posture. So comfortable, in fact, we are going to make, after this, the second most boring video ever posted on YouTube. Join me for sitting around for 5 minutes listening to a click track with your hands in the air. See you then.